on the front end, a Postgres database along with Sequelize and Express on the back end. We'll get more into this in a bit, but for now, we could start by talking about our database and the models. So to start off, a little bit about the site itself. So if I start running this right now, you know what? First, let's run the seed. The seed file is simply going to populate our database with some information. If we go into the actual seed file, all it's doing is it's creating these objects using Sequelize. We're able to instantiate objects like so, campus.create, and it would make these within our table. So these will be rows in our table. So right now we have a campus and student table. So if we go over to Postico here, which is just a GUI so we could take a look at our databases, we were able to seed properly. Yep. The relationships between these two tables or models exist in our index. So a campus has many students and a student belongs to campus. What this does is it puts a campus ID in the students table so we could follow through and see what campus they're on. So if we come back here, we go to students, we'll see right here we have campus ID. Okay, so we have the backend bit figured out as far as seeding goes. But let's take it from the front end back. So to start off, now I could run the actual server. So let me run this. Localhost. So this is the home of our site. It's the Margaret Hamilton Academy of JavaScript. If we go to campuses, we have a list of our campuses and we can add campuses. We'll go through this in a second. Each campus has its own single view, and each single view of a campus has every student that's in that campus. So right now we have Cody Codes, Earl Savage, and myself. So if I go in here, this is how each student profile looks. But let's take a look at students. So what we're looking at here is the campus list. We're using React with a simple, we have a component mount, a handle click, but we're using Redux here, so we're using a singular state. And to do that, we must use connect map state to props, map dispatch to props. So to work our way from here back, we need something here to map over from our store. So all of these exist in our store. To do that, we have to pass props to campus lists. And we do that using these functions here. The first prop that we're grabbing from the store itself is map state to props. If we go into our reducer, we're on the Redux end of things right now. You'll see that we have something called fetch campus. Fetch campus exists here. It actually exists here. So if we go here, fetch campus is a thunk. Let's see if I could find it. Here it is. Fetch campus is a thunk. It hits our Redux API route. It does a GET request on it, and it goes to API/campuses. So if I was to show you how that looks, it just returns objects in a JSON file. This is one way that we could actually get things from our front end. No, get things from our back end to our front end. So if we go here, we have fetch campuses, it hits this route. Within our Express routes, I have a router.get for campuses. We're using find all, which is Sequelize function, and we include everything because we're going to need the campus information as well. Remember, there's a relationship that gives us all student information. Remember, students have a campus ID. This is going to return every student for us that's related to the campus. Okay, so we res.send that, the response, we send back all campuses. All campuses are sent back to our reducer. We pull data from it here, and then we release our action using our got campus from server. Got campus from server exists here. It's just an action creator. Um, we pass that campuses that we received from our database over here, and then release the action got campus from server along with campuses. So this is our action itself. Uh, when we go down, we'll see that we have something called got campus from server in our reducer. In our action, we have the new campuses. So when we look at our initial state, campus array is empty when we start. But when we change the state, it's gonna have all the campuses that we just got back from the database through our action. Um, Now this is gonna cause a re-render, which is great because that's what we want. We want when things change into the singular state, our pages are dynamically re-rendering. So again, how does that look? When we refresh, we grab everything, we map over it, and we make this. Okay, so on to the next part. From there, we can see that we do have links in here as well, and we have a button. Okay, so the button is delete. Um, Delete works using thunk, using a thunk that also hits, thunk on the Redux end that also hits our API route for delete. So if we go in here, we have a delete route, and the delete route uses an ID, and the ID could be found in our rec.params.id, and we use sequelize here to find one where ID equals that. Uh, the reason we find one and not just destroy it is because we want to send back the campus to delete to our reducer. This way, the reducer can make the changes necessary to dynamically re-render the page. So we want the campus here, and our thunk will do that for us. If we go to remove campus, you'll see that this Axios, we hit this route. We pass the ID here. We pass that ID, but we also want to pass the campus to be deleted to the action, which is happening here. And delete campus is actually our action creator. Delete campus is here. It's a type delete campus. A campus is passed to it. If we come down here, delete campus filters our campus array. And wherever the ID is not equal to the campus ID that we're passing in that is to be deleted, we keep it into our campus array, which will cause a re-render. So if I was to come here and I was to delete Harvard, it re-renders right away and it persists. So if I refresh, it's not there anymore. Okay, from there we can go into links. These links over here. These links actually link to the individual page of each college. This is done through React router actually. So if we go into the root.js in our front end, we have some routes set up here, and two of those routes are campus/id and student/id. Both of these are used to navigate to single page views, and also we use them to delete and update in certain parts of this app. So from here, let's go back to campus list. I guess we'll dive into campus form because that exists on the same page as campus list. So this is our form. It allows us to add a campus. So in our database, the model points out that campus name is required. So with some CSS, I added this red here that goes green once we start filling out. So some campus, some address. I have an image of that, so we can pull up an image real quick. So Baruch or something. Baruch. So if I go into images, just quickly grab any image. So copy image address, paste it here, CUNY. Hit submit, and there it is. some campus with Baruch. We could update this name now to Baruch. And there we are. Right now there's no students here because none are assigned. Now if we go back to campuses, we could take a look at this campus form. Let's go campus form. A campus form also uses a very similar pattern. Using Redux, we have to go to our store. And to do that, we grab props from our store. We're gonna update those props. We're gonna use something that keeps updating the props. This way, it comes back to us over up here. New campus entry. Remember, new campus entry is state.campus.new campus entry. We keep writing onto that from this form. And then eventually, when we hit submit on our form, on submit here, we're going to do this.props.post. Post is a route that is defined in our thunk here. So if we go into reducers, we go up to upcamp. This is update campus. It goes to campus to update. We use Axios again. We hit the route, we get the ID, and we get the actual updated campus. This is all passed through because of our, let's see where that went. Because we were using this here, which is also just an action creator that keeps updating our store. And our store keeps passing back things to our new campus entry, the new updated things. We're able to just pass that in. Here. And from there, we're able to do whatever we actually need to do to update, which includes just going back using router.put in our Express side. And we go through, we find one where the IDs are equal again. We include everything and we send back the one that we found because we're going to need it to update the actual instance in our store. In our store. Because if you come here, you'll see that update campus takes the Kirk campus, which is our single page view, sets it to the action.campus, which was passed through our action creator, and makes our new campus entry empty again. This applies also in the same way to students. So most of the things that I'm actually going to talk about campus are exactly how student works. For that reason, and to save some time, I won't go into students nearly as much. So here we are. We're in a single page view. And a single page view also has a form to update, which we did talk about already. But let's go back here. We can add a campus. Adding a campus just means a post request. In the same way, we create a thunk. The thunk is actually going to be the one that goes to our database. It's a middleware on the Redux end. So these are all thunks here. So all things that are touching our database are middleware thunks. And that's how we implement most of this. Let's see what else we can talk about here. Students are very similar. Students also have a form. Students have 3 required fields, so we use the same type of CSS styling. So let's put something in here, Brian, some email address, and just give this one. Okay. Currently don't have an image URL, but I could write a GPA here. Let's give Brian a 4, hit submit, and there we are. Well, there's no image, so it's going to show as corrupt. So does this persist? If I refresh, it does. If I could update a few things here. I could change it to actual names now. Brian, O'Brien, or parenthesis Brian. We won't update the email address. There we are. He's not currently enrolled. We do this through some checking, some ternary checking in our front end. So that's about it. Thank you for watching. If you guys want to see some more stuff, you could always go on my GitHub, where I have a lot of the fundamental things needed for doing full stack web applications using React, Redux, Sequelize, Postgres. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.